Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in. You are watching another episode of The Alarm, Awakening of Soul. My name is Gara Guzman. Today we're going to be talking about one of my favorite topics, that which is love and relationship. Just briefly, we left off on The Secret of Sleep, and initially my intention was to bring in after that the episode on recognizing your signs, which we will get to, but I figured since it's summertime and a lot of you are out there meeting new people and mingling, and so many friendships, relationships, what have you, stem from the summertime, I wanted to bring this in now. So without further ado, we are going to get into it. Now, in past episodes, we already discussed how the things we say, the things we do, our thoughts have a direct correlation with the things that come in and manifest into our lives. We are responsible for the things that manifest into our lives. In that same way, so do people. That it does not exclude people. The people that come into our lives are not coincidental. They are a reflection of us. They are a confirmation so that we can see ourselves in them, and so that we are able to either change what needs to be changed to begin a new a new path of manifestations, or we're comfortable with who we are because we're happy and content with the reflection that we see in others. So there are a couple of different impacts that bring in that attract certain people. There is your perception of yourself, and there is the perception of how you view life and your reality. There is the impressions, emotions that have been impressed on your subconscious. And I'm going to give you an example of each of these situations and how one person would attract another through these different states. And I'll begin by giving you an example of how someone's perception of themselves would attract that reflection. So if, let's for instance say, someone has a low self-esteem, that is a perception of themselves. That person would more than likely attract someone who cannot help them elevate their self-esteem, because they most likely will need someone to help them elevate their own. So that is an example of someone that would, because of their perception of self, be attracting that type of situation. As far as someone's perception of life and how they would be attracting a reflection of their perception is, for example, a man that feels that he is defined by things, by money, by labels, things of that nature, will most likely attract a woman that also needs to be defined by material things and labels. It works also the same way. A woman who feels that the big catch would be a man with money, she will most likely attract someone who has only money to offer, no love, respect, or loyalty included. So that's an example of how someone's perception on life, on reality, would bring in and show and be reflected to them in that way. An example of how someone who has an emotion impressed upon their subconscious would attract that reflection would be, for example, a girl who attracts someone like her father. Parents create a huge impression on the subconscious, whether it is a negative or a positive one. A girl that, for instance, might have not had her father in her life and has resentment or anger for that situation would attract someone like her father in an inharmonious way, because of the emotion that she's holding on to that being a negative emotion. And in the same way, same would be with a man that is attracting someone like his mother. If he feels resentment or anger, then the person he will attract, that situation will be inharmonious. And not to say that it cannot become harmonious, but, and I'm going to get to that in a little bit, but both people have to be willing to be elevating their vibrational frequency. So if, for instance, I see, something that or I am working actively to raise my vibrational frequency, to change my perception on myself, on my reality, more than likely I will outgrow that situation, because that person is not doing the same to change their perception and their outlook and what have you. Now, if in that situation, in the same case with the girl, if her feelings for her father would have been of love and and a fulfillment and of a positive nature, then the man that she would attract that's like her father would be a more harmonious situation, because of the positive emotion that she has towards the impression. The emotion that's attached to the impression in her subconscious is a positive one. So that is the difference between how the emotion, and we spoke about this in another episode, emotion is what activates the manifestation, and it pretty much gives a blueprint of whether it will be a positive outcome or something more inharmonious. Now, again, the purpose of people entering our lives is to teach us about ourselves. A lot of times we are in situations and we see the reflection, we learn the lesson, we see what we need to do, and we make the changes, but we continue to sit in an empty classroom. And I see that a lot. And what I mean by sitting in an empty classroom is that you're in a situation and you've already gotten what you need to get out of it, and now you're still sitting there unlearning and relearning, unlearning and relearning in that situation, which now becomes an unhappy one, inharmonious. It eats away at your soul, at your character, at your spirit, and it drains you. What needs to be done is, at the end of any lesson learned, there has to be a manifestation of faith. And if you have changed and you have worked to raise your vibrational frequency, and you have a new image from the inside, then you need to release the old reflection to let in a new reflection of who you've become, and not beat the drum of something that has already been said and done. So this topic on love and relationship, it's so extensive. Don't be surprised if I come back with a part 2, because I'm always inspired and from the things I see to speak on different situations and different states of this topic. So I'm going to leave you guys with this for now, and sit on it, think about it, try to see and try to actually realize and recognize the reflection of yourself and other people, and learn from it and change what you need to change to align yourself into the reality, into the things that you want to see manifest. If there's something that it sits inharmoniously within you, then that's something that you need to change. God is going to put you in situations so that you can to mold you, to better you, so that you will be on track to the things that you want to see. But if you stay stuck, then that's on you. And don't stay stuck. Okay, keep learning, keep growing, keep moving towards the right direction. I'm going to call this a part 1 because I'll be back, I swear. And I'm going to let you guys go for now. Ciao. Peace.